What would you have done? Here's an Instagram upload from Matthew Guthmiller, an aviation influencer with substantial following, single-engine ATP and certified flight instructor, which should make him a shining example of professionalism and safety. It would seem that he skipped a few classes of CFI ground school on these topics. Let's watch this approach through and then break it down afterwards.
Traffic, 2 o'clock, low, less than 1 mile.
Are they not going to make
7 up to Papa, go around off that left side, insufficient runway separation.
Traffic, 10 o'clock, same altitude, 0 miles.
Affirmative, sir. Your discretion, begin your left crossing.
Can we just be clear to land 22 left?
7 up to Papa, clear to land, runway 22 left.
Clear to land 22 left, 75.
Contact, standby.
Traffic, 1 o'clock,
Papa,
same
right at
altitude,
hotel,
0 miles.
and cross runway 22 right at hotel, taxi via Alpha to parking, monitor ground.
Hotel Alpha, cross 22 right, monitor ground, 75. Thanks for the help.
Traffic, 12 o'clock, same altitude, 0 miles.
Have you ever done that before? No?
So to answer his question, the only acceptable course of action in this case is a go-around. In my opinion, the sidestep was reckless operation and a bad decision, which could have led to a serious accident. However, even from this short video, we can see a host of questionable aeronautical decision-making calls, even from before ATC called the go-around. Our intrepid influencer here is flying a Beech Bonanza, a single-engine aircraft with a significant amount of performance in comparison to many other single-engine aeroplanes. This requires careful planning and special consideration in a pattern with other aircraft with lesser performance. VFR flying puts most of the onus on the pilot in command to determine the safe separation. It would appear that Mr. Matthew failed to make the required considerations of the performance of his aircraft versus the much slower aircraft he was following on the approach.
7 up to Papa, go around off that left side, insufficient runway separation.
The tower called the go-around when the required runway separation had been breached. However, it should have been obvious to any ATP CFI much earlier in the approach that this was not going to work out. In my opinion, a go-around should have been actioned earlier when this had become apparent. Had the decision been made at this point, sufficient altitude and manoeuvre margin would have made the sidestep to the left runway a perfectly safe and efficient option. Instead, he let the situation develop to a point where the separation was a problem and safety margins were much narrower. Let's say that for whatever reason Matthew didn't pick up on how tight the gap was. This is not the end of the world, we've all made mistakes. It's how we rectify them that counts. So when the tower calls the go-around, he asks for runway 22 left.
Traffic, 10 o'clock, same altitude, 0 miles.
Affirmative, sir. Your discretion, begin your left crossing.
Can we just be clear to land 22 left?
A last-minute impulsive decision is made to sidestep to the parallel runway. This is requiring a fairly sharp bank to the left to switch across quickly. This part isn't executed too badly, however it's still a questionable decision at this stage. Due to the fact that the runways are staggered, we are well past the threshold of the landing runway and approaching the touchdown zone at the wrong end of the runway. This needs a quick touchdown, and therefore he's maneuvering fairly aggressively to align with the center line. That noise is the stall warner. Here's the bank angle at the point that the stall warner sounds. The camera is not quite aligned with the lateral axis of the aircraft by about 2 degrees. If we now align the ruler with the horizon, we get about 32 degrees. So it's about 34 degrees angle of bank, at around 20 feet above the ground, with the stall warner blaring. The issue here is that he has to get the right wing up to avoid a wing strike. So you can see he's got the control column pretty much hard over to the left, more or less full aileron deflection. This is not a safe situation as he's already nearing the critical angle of attack. The aileron deflection is increasing the angle of attack on the right wing further. This would lead to the right wing stalling first and dropping. It's already at 30 plus degrees angle of bank, and at this height the right wing would hit the ground and cartwheel the aircraft in a bonanza extravaganza. Obviously, on top of that, touching down late on the runway, while maybe within the capability of the aircraft, is painting yourself into a corner unnecessarily when you had all that usable runway behind you. Really quite a poor display of aeronautical decision making in my opinion, and if he flies like this every day, it's only a matter of time before his lack of threat and error management bites him in the bonanza. We've all made mistakes and decisions which in hindsight were probably not the best or safest options. The trouble is that this guy has 56,000 followers on Instagram and has advertised himself as a flight instructor. Many of his followers will be young flight students, and he's setting a very poor example of safe decision making. And judging by his replies to some comments displaying valid concern, he doesn't seem to understand the responsibility of his position in aviation as a flight instructor or as someone with a significant following. We should be producing better quality instructors than this.